Charles Jones was an English gardener and photographer noted for his still lifes of fruit and vegetables. These pictures were taken between 1900 and 1910, at a time when Jones was chief gardener at Oat Hall in Sussex, England. The key to Jones's work is its simplicity, the isolation of his objects presented against a neutral background along with the natural light, which captures and illuminates the roundness of the shapes, gives them a portrait-like quality. Instead of finding inspiration in art history, he was a pioneer of a more modern style, similar to Edward Weston, who photographed vegetables in a comparable way some 30 years later. The creation of small sculptures, a popular phenomenon in contemporary food photography, is shown here in Irving Penn's Frozen Foods, New York, from 1977, where frozen food is carefully placed in contrasting forms and colours. The photograph is taken at the moment when the food starts to thaw and the true colour of the fruit and vegetables becomes visible through the frost. Penn's food photographs show nothing of that period's traditional styling. Instead, he trusts the food's own characteristics. The result is a masterpiece of understatement and a gourmandizing of texture and form. The work of Sharon Corr in the series Early American consists of photographic reproductions of still lifes made by American artist Raphael Peale at the start of the 19th century. Corr patiently grows the portrayed fruit and vegetables herself. Seasonal variation and the time it takes to grow the food is similar to the time-consuming process of painting. It results in conceptual studies of photography's role in how we understand and look at painting. It is perhaps private photographs that have had the greatest influence on food as a photographic subject. Food appeared in 19th century family photographs, but it was during the 20th century, when cameras became more accessible and cheaper, that food increasingly took centre stage. Ever since, snapshots of families gathered around food, above all cakes, at dinners, birthdays, parties and weddings, have become a matter of course. Here we see a busy hot dog stand in a seaside town in England. Martin Parr is a British documentary photographer known for his photography projects that focus, in an ironic and anthropological way, on various aspects of modern life, particularly in England. His documentary photography is often critical of consumer society, the middle classes and mass tourism. Parr's focus is on the everyday, and in much of his photography he allows clichés or stereotypes to comment on national identity. Picnic on the Esplanade, Boston, 1973, is part of Nan Goldin's acclaimed series The Ballad of Sexual Dependency, a filmic slideshow of hundreds of intimate moments from Goldin's life in the 70s and 80s. The snapshot quality and the merriment evoked by the combination of cake and close friends makes the picture reminiscent of a photograph in a family album. Despite it being one of Goldin's early pictures, it comes at the end of the book, as a reminder of the happiness Goldin found in the group, as well as the immense losses that later struck them as a result of drugs, AIDS, and other calamities. The picture, You'll Never Guess Our Deep, Dark, Delicious Secret, is part of the Hank Willis Thomas series Unbranded, A Century of White Women, 1915 to 2015. Where he has removed the text and logos from adverts and left the photographs to speak for themselves. Without the aid of advertising copy and taglines, which normally help to explain adverts, we are forced to read between the lines and think deeper about what these pictures are actually selling. Sliced meats become tiles when Sian Bonnell, in the series House Beautiful from 2005, takes various foodstuffs and transforms them into decor for the home. The name House Beautiful is also the title of a British magazine, and to a certain extent Bonnell's photographs can be said to imitate magazines that show pictures of beautiful homes full of designer furniture in an atmosphere of comfort and happiness. However, the interiors in Bonnell's photographs confuse our notions of what a home, food and interior design are by mixing up these categories.